And another Aussie scores one for the home team, while the traveling American, Fishman, takes a big hit.
Welcome back to the PartyPoker.net Aussie Millions. A whole lot of money at stake here, and we've got an all-star table that we're looking at today. And we mentioned this earlier, but Kathy Liebert just has not had the best of it, just has not had cards with which she could get involved. And so all she could do is tread a little bit of water and hope things turn her way, and do so in a big hurry. But this is a woman with great poker experience.
Well, I think that both Phil Ivey and Kenna James will be playing very aggressively. I expect we'll see a lot of action at today's table. It's very tough to play against a person that has a lot of chips because they're not afraid of playing a pot with you. They can bust you, but you can't really hurt them too badly. And it's going to be tough to decide whether I want to play solid and conservative or whether to take a little more aggressive stance.
Well, Barry Tompkins, thus far, the decision seems to have been very clear. Kathy Liebert has played very conservatively, not aggressively, and while her opponents have been picking up hands like that, ace-king, she's had a litany of 7-3 and ace-4. Sooner or later, though, she's going to have to mix it up.
Yeah, things have just not happened for her that would allow her to get involved. Well, how about now?
And I'm going to tell you, that's going to look huge to Kathy Liebert. There she goes.
All in. Got to be aggressive when you can. She's had no chance to be aggressive thus far, but here she is.
And that's by far the biggest hand that Kathy Liebert has looked at. Jamil Dia needs to know that Kathy Liebert has been a very passive presence.
Yeah, cool.
But apparently he didn't notice that. On the other hand, let's be fair here. Dia knows that his ace-king is probably only a small underdog to every hand out there except the pairs of kings and aces. So he's willing to gamble with the short stack.
Right, and he's got plenty to gamble with, which is exactly what Kathy Liebert was talking about earlier.
We called a coin flip, but Liebert the clear favorite.
And she
now
catches
she's a
another
huge
jack.
favorite. Dia does have a straight draw. A 10 would complete a straight for him, but Kathy Liebert is a big, big favorite to double through.
3 on the turn, no good for Dia.
He'll need that 10.
And it is an ace, and Kathy Liebert has doubled up. And so when she does get involved, she makes good on it. And for Jamil Dia, he had plenty of chips to play with, just testing Kathy Liebert. He comes up on a short end this time, and Liebert thus becomes a player again. Bonus coverage now as we take it to one of the outer tables where Sam Youssef is all in against Shannon Shore.
And what a terrible, brutal flop for Youssef. He flops 3 queens. His opponent flopped a full house. Shore has 2s full of queens. Youssef has a few outs, and he gets it! Oh, my goodness.
And the expression on the face of Shannon Shore tells you everything you need to know. Sometimes just the luck of the draw, and in that case, Sam Youssef made good on it. Kenna James, a 10-9 suited.
Now, Kenna is first to act here. 10-9 suited is normally the kind of hand you want to play in late position, like on the button, but Kenna's liable to play any 2 cards, any place.
Kathy Liebert saying, I wasn't complaining.
Call.
Galanis, another guy who hasn't had a lot of hands to play, but he will participate in this. Fit gets out of the way. Ivy 7-8 suited. Phil loves these kind of hands.
Yeah, and Kenna James' opening raise was very, very small. Most of the time, players here will raise 3 or 4 times the big blind. Kenna just did one of these strange little tiny raises, and he's giving the blinds a pretty good price to try to spike a hand on the flop.
Well, Dia calls, so we got 4 players going to the flop, and here is the flop: 3-4 ace, a couple of clubs.
Now, Kenna James acted as though he had something like ace-king or ace-queen before the flop, but he doesn't want to follow through. Nobody's showing any strength.
No, check all the way around. Now a 7, so that gives 3 players pairs.
Yeah, and that should be an action card.
12,000.
And Jamil Dia with the best hand right now because he has the highest kicker, the king. And Ivy and Galanis with identical hands at best could only split if an 8 came. Well, now that Galanis folds, Ivy could hope to spike that 8 and take the pot. And you see he has a 13% chance of splitting as well. Oh, and there is a split card. Now both players have 4s and 7s with an ace kicker. Jamil Dia's king is counterfeited. Bad break for him. Phil Ivey gets a little lucky.
Guess I shouldn't have folded my 7-8.
You had 7-8
Galanis
also?
wishing he would have stuck around.
That's nice. It's nice for some. 7-8, 7-8.
Little editorial comment from the Cowboy.
There's a foundation to poker that everyone has to master. And partypoker.net is a fantastic place to do this. You learn the value of different hands. You learn how to play different kinds of games. If you want to call yourself a poker player, you have to have a certain amount of experience at the tables. Partypoker.net is a great place to do that.
Well, Nick Galanis is in there against some of the giants, and we're coming back. Welcome back, partypoker.net, Aussie Millions, and we are at the Crown Casino here in Melbourne. Barry Tompkins, Michael Koenig alongside, telling you all about it. The poker play has been outstanding. Little bonus coverage now. We're going to take you outside where Mark Voss once again is all in against Joe Hashim. Voss with a pair of queens against Hashim's Jack-10 suited.
And the world champion will need a heart or a 9 to eliminate Mark Voss. Voss is urging the dealer, hold him, hold him. And it works.
It did. Voss will double up, and he does so through the defending World Series of Poker champion. So Mark Voss holding his own against one of the better players in the world.
Those magic fingers.
The fingers of Antonio Esfandiari. Meanwhile, back at the main table, the play continues here. Galanis has not had the best of things since sitting down at this table. Ace-4 for Fit.
All right. 12,000.
The raise is 12,000 from Fit right into the teeth of Phil Ivey's King-Queen. And a quick call from Ivey. And Dia looking at an Ace-Queen. We could have a little confrontation here.
Yeah, now that Ace-Queen looks a lot less attractive when you have both a raiser and a caller in front of you. With the Ace-Queen, you like to be the aggressor. You really don't like to call raises there, especially when there are 2 players that are representing good hands.
Call.
There's the call from Dia. Ken and James thinking, what am I doing?
Well, I'll tell you who's really thinking that is Jerry Fitt. Right now, he raised an early position with an Ace-4, got called in 2 spots. He can't really like his hand very much.
And he is the underdog, as you see.